Senate will come to order. Mr. Schaffler, call the roll.
Senators Amabile, Baisley, Ball, Bridges, Bright, Carson, Catlin, Cutter, Danielson, Doherty,
Excused.
Exum, Frizzell, Gonzalez, Hendrickson, Judah, Kipp, Kirkmeyer, Kolker,
Excused.
Liston, Lundeen, Marchman, Michelson Genet, Mullica, Pelton B, Pelton R, Rich, Roberts, Rodriguez, Simpson, Snyder, Sullivan, Wallace, Weissman, Winter. Mr. President.
Let's do this. The morning roll call is 33 present, 0 absent. And to excuse, we have a quorum. Senator Baisley, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, please join me in Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
And to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of the Journal. Senator Weissman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate Journal of last Friday, April 25, be approved as corrected by the Secretary.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, no. That said, wow. Even then, the ayes have it, miraculously, and that motion is adopted. Senate Services.
Correctly printed, Senate Bill 314, 315, 316, and 317. Correctly engrossed, Senate Bill 26, 72, 84, 118, 120, 142, 285, 290, 296, 299, 300, 301, 303, 305, and 307. Correctly re-engrossed, Senate Bill 1150, 64, 292, 295, and 298. Correctly revised, House Bill 1049, 1096, 1105, 1112, 1130, 1177, 1195, 1204, 1225, 1305, 1306, 1308, and 1314. Correctly re-revised, House Bill 1017, 1209, 1239, 1279, and 1321. Correctly enrolled, Senate Bill 70, 145, and 194.
Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to proceed out of order for moments of personal privilege.
The motion is to proceed out of order for a moment of personal privilege. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. We'll proceed out of order for a moment of personal privilege. Moments of personal privilege. Senator Hendrickson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues,
Please request.
I ask for more personal privilege.
Granted.
Colleagues, in the wee hours of this morning, Pueblo Police Dispatch received calls of a shootout about a block away from where last month's horrific shootout involving police occurred, followed by calls of a stolen vehicle. Minutes later, when an officer made contact with the vehicle meeting the depiction of the stolen vehicle, the driver of that vehicle opened fire on the Pueblo police officers responding to that call, hitting one of the officers who is hospitalized and in stable condition. Officers returned fire, hitting the suspect who is also hospitalized in stable condition. The suspect is a 16-year-old. So I'm asking today for prayers for my community, for the officers who continue to show exceptional courage in the face of the danger that is in the day-to-day of their jobs, for the families of those involved in this horrific incident, for our kids and the challenges that come with being a kid in today's society, and ask that we rededicate ourselves to ensuring that we have opportunities for at-risk youth before it ever comes to a horrific incident like this. And I would like to place a little flag in the ground that this will be the third session in a row where we'll be considering legislation to deal with penalties for theft of stolen firearms and re-adding PALPO penalties for theft of motor vehicle that we should be hearing here in the last week. Would happy to discuss that legislation with any of you, but in the immediacy, ask for your thoughts and prayers for my community. Thank you, Mr. President.
Seeing no further moments of personal privilege, special order segment of the bills, Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to lay over special order second reading of bills until tomorrow, Tuesday, April the 29th.
After this. The motion is laid over special order second reading of bills calendar Tuesday, April 29, 2025. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have a special order second reading of bills calendar will lay over until Tuesday, April 29, 2025. Mr. Schaffler, please add Senator Doherty to the roll. Third reading of bills. Consent calendar. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title of all the bills on the consent calendar.
Senate Bill 300 by Senators Carson and Weissman and Representatives Luck and Camacho, concerning the non-substantive revision of the Colorado Revised Statutes as amended and in connection therewith amending or repealing obsolete, imperfect, and inoperative law to preserve the legislative intent, effect, and meaning of the law. Senate Bill 84 by Senators Mullica and Simpson, Representatives Bradfield and Ryden, concerning the adequacy of the infusion pharmacy network supplying parenteral nutrition to Medicaid members and in connection therewith making an appropriation. Senate Bill 120 by Senators Liston and Marchman, Representatives Soper and Pascal, concerning promoting workforce development opportunities in Colorado's nuclear sector and in connection therewith making an appropriation. Senate Bill 305 by Senators Kirkmeyer and Bridges and Representatives Byrd and Taggart, concerning the process by which the Division of Administration in the Department of Public Health and Environment issues permits relating to water quality and in connection therewith making and reducing an appropriation. Senate Bill 296 by Senators Michelson, Janae, and Representatives Byrd and Stewart, concerning insurance coverage for preventative breast cancer examinations. House Bill 1177 by Representatives Morrow and Winter and Senators Hendrickson and Pelton B, concerning adjustments to the economic development rate tariff. House Bill 1049 by Representatives Garcia and Senators Mobley and Gonzalez, concerning communication rights for persons in custody. House Bill 1308 by Representatives Weinberg and Pascal and Senator Baisley, concerning extending the deadline for the Office of Information Technology's first annual report on the statewide longitudinal data system. House Bill 1305 by Representatives Espinosa and Bradley and Senators Exum and Catlin, concerning the extension of the repeal date of the reporting section of the Colorado Child Abuse Prevention Trust Fund Act. House Bill 1306 by Representatives Luck and Espinosa and Senators Ball and Ritz, concerning alphabetizing the plumbing profession definitions. House Bill 1204 by Representatives Duran and Joseph and Senator Danielson, concerning the codification of the Federal Indian Child Welfare Act of 1978 as the Colorado Indian Child Welfare Act.
Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the passage of all the bills on third reading of bills, final passage consent calendar, which is Senate Bill 300, Senate Bill 84, Senate Bill 120, Senate Bill 305, Senate Bill 296, House Bill 1177, House Bill 1049, House Bill 1308, House Bill 1305, House Bill 1306, and House Bill 1204.
Any discussion on any of the bills? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of all the bills on third reading of bills consent calendar. Are there any no votes? Senator Rich.
Thank you, Mr. President. I ask to be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 25-1049.
Senator Rich will be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1049. Senator Peltonard.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wish to be recorded as a no vote on 1049.
Senator Pelton R will be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1049. Senator Carson, Senator Bright.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wish to be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1177 and House Bill 1049.
Senator Bright will be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1177 and 1049. Senator Baisley.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to be recorded as a no vote on Senate Bill 296 and House Bill 1177.
Senator Baisley will be recorded as a no vote on Senate Bill 296 and House Bill 1177. Now it's Senator Carson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wish to be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1177.
Senator Carson will be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1177. Senator Liston.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I wish to be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1049 and House Bill 1204.
Senator Liston will be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1049 and House Bill 1204. Senator Pelton B.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wish to be recorded a no vote on House Bill 1049.
Senator Pelton B. recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1049. Very good. Senator Catlin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Please record me as a no on HB 1049.
Senator Catlin will be recorded as a no on House Bill 1049. Senator Frizzell.
Good morning, Mr. President. I wish to be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 251177 and House Bill 251049.
Senator Frizzell will be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1177 and House Bill 1049. Senator Kirkmeyer.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wish to be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 251049.
Senator Kirkmeyer will be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1049. Any no votes? Seeing none, with a vote of 34 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, Senate Bill 300 is passed. Co-sponsors. With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, Senate Bill 84 is passed. Co-sponsors. Senators Gonzalez, Michelson Janae, Judah, Wallace, Cutter, Kip, Snyder, Exum, Weissman. With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 1 excused, Senate Bill 120 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Roberts, Pelton R., Pelton B., Michelson Janae, Mullica, Ball. Please add Senator Kirkmeyer and Senator Catlin as co-sponsors on 120. With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, Senate Bill 305 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senator Pelton B., Roberts, Liston, Bright, Catlin, Frizzell, Simpson, Judah, Marchman, Pelton R. With a vote of 33 ayes, 1 no, 0 absent, 1 excused, Senate Bill 296 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Wallace, Kip, Judah, Gonzalez, Winter, Marchman, Danielson, Cutter, Amabile, Doherty, Roberts, Mullica, Carson, Snyder, Exum, Frizzell, Ball, Henriksen, Weissman. With a vote of Mr. Schaffler, on 296, please add the president. With a vote of 30 ayes, 4 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, House Bill 1177 is passed. Co-sponsors. With a vote of 26 ayes, 8 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, House Bill 1049 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Wallace, Kipp, Judah, Michelson Janae, Cutter, Weissman, Sullivan, Henriksen, Ball, Exum. Please add the president. With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, House Bill 1308 is passed. Co-sponsors. With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, House Bill 1305 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Michaels and Janae, Cutter, Amabile, Henriksen, Marchman, Kipp. Please add the president. With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, House Bill 1306 is passed. Co-sponsors. Don't we want to alphabetize the plumbing profession definitions, guys? Oh, Senator Bridges, Wallace. With a vote of 33 ayes, 1 no, 0 absent, 1 excused, House Bill 1204 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Michelson Janae, Winter, Judah, Kipp, Wallace, Marchman, Cutter, Gonzalez, Marchman again. No, it's all good. Twice is nice. Amabile, Doherty, Frizzell, Mr. Minority Leader, Simpson, Carson, Roberts, Mullica, Exum, Bridges, Snyder, Sullivan, Weissman. Please add the president. Third reading of bills, Senatorial 5. Third reading of bills. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to lay over House Bill 10004 to the end of the calendar.
The motion is lay over House Bill 10004 to the end of the third reading calendar. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and 10004 will lay over to the end of the third reading calendar. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to House Bill 1225.
House Bill 1225 by Representatives Woodrow and Velasco and Senators Hendrickson and Doherty concerning the creation of the Freedom from Intimidation in Elections Act to prohibit an individual from intimidating, threatening, or coercing any individual for engaging in certain election-related activities.
Senator Henriksen.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move House Bill 1225 on third reading and final passage and ask for an aye vote.
Further discussion. Seeing none, the motion is the passage of House Bill 1225. Are there any no votes? Senators, Mr. Minority Leader, Frizzell, Rich, Baisley, Liston, Pelton R, Catlin, Carson, Bright, Kirkmeyer, Simpson, Pelton B. With a vote of 22 ayes, 12 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, House Bill 1225 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators, twice, Kip, Winter, Cutter, Judah, Wallace, Danielson, Michelson Janae, Weissman, Exum, Marchman. Please add the president. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title of House Bill 1096.
House Bill 1096 by Representatives Smith and Brown and Senators Ball and Kipp concerning automated permitting for residential clean energy technology projects.
Senator Ball.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move House Bill 25-1096 on third reading and final passage and urge an aye vote.
Further discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of House Bill 1096. Are there any no votes? Senators Rich, Frizzell, Mr. Minority Leader, Bright, Carson, Catlin, Pelton R, Liston, Baisley. Any other no votes? Kirkmeyer. With a vote of 24 ayes, 10 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, House Bill 1096 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Wallace, Cutter, Bridges, Gonzalez, Michelson Janae. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title of House Bill 1314.
House Bill 1314 by Representatives Lindstedt and Sirota and Senator Kipp concerning peace officer status for certain Department of Revenue employees.
Senator Kipp.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move HB 25-1314 on third reading and final passage.
Further discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of House Bill 1314. Are there any yes votes? Are there any no votes? Mr. Minority Leader, Senators Kirkmeyer, Frizzell, Rich, Baisley, Liston, Pelton R, Catlin, Carson, Bright, Simpson, Pelton B, Roberts, with a vote of 21 ayes, 13 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, House Bill 1314 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Sullivan, Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to House Bill 1195.
House Bill 1195 by Representatives Johnson and Martinez and Senators Mullica and Baisley concerning the ability of a first responder or the spouse of a first responder to request that the address in their voter registration records maintained by the county clerk and recorder or the Secretary of State be kept confidential.
Senator Mullica.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move House Bill 1195 on third reading and final passage.
Further discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of House Bill 1195. Are there any no votes? Senators Sullivan. No votes on 1195. With a vote of 33 ayes, 1 no, 0 absent, 1 excused, House Bill 1195 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Marchman, Cutter, Wallace, Kipp, Winter, Judah, Michelson Janae, Weissman, Snyder, Bridges, Pelton B, Exum, Roberts, Pelton R, Liston, Mr. Schaffler, please read the title of House Bill 1130.
House Bill 1130 by Representatives Carter and Duran and Senators Danielson and Colker concerning labor requirements for certain construction projects.
Senator Danielson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move House Bill 1130 on third reading and final passage.
Further discussion? There is discussion. Senator Frizzell.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, we had quite a bit of discussion around this bill just a few days ago. And I feel very strongly about some of the wording in this piece of legislation that we are attempting to codify into law for the state of Colorado. And I'm going to once again voice my objection, and I would point you to the bottom of page 4. I object to the words in this bill that permits the selection of the lowest qualified responsible bidder. That makes so little sense to me, I can't even describe it. I'm deeply, deeply disturbed that we would codify language allowing, permitting a contractor or subcontractor who is not appropriately qualified, maybe, or certainly less qualified than other companies that are vying for a contract. Why would we codify that? It seems to me that if we are spending public dollars on public projects, that we would wish to deliver quality products from qualified contractors to the people who pay for this, the citizens that we serve. I mean, that's what we should be seeking. That is good fiscal management. That's good governance. That's what we should seek. We should not seek to provide low-quality projects. We should not ever seek that. But yet, here it is in black and white. And if you vote yes on this bill today, you are permitting those words to go into those red books that guide us and those who fund public projects, who select contractors for public projects. That's not right. That's not right. I'm going to once again say, because I think this is important, the citizens of Colorado should expect better from us. They should expect better when we are seeking to solve problems on their behalf, because that's why we're here. That's why we're here. I ask for a no vote on House Bill 1130.
Further discussion. Mr. Minority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Colleagues, I promised you that I would record the balance of my speech that I began to give on YouTube, but I did not get a chance to do that, and so I have 20 minutes to continue with that speech. However, since it's not noon, I will forego the speech and simply say this. The argument against 1130 is simple. The question we should be filtering every piece of legislation through as we consider it this session, quite frankly, probably all sessions, but certainly this session, where the people of Colorado are crying out with the phrase, "make my life more affordable." The filter that says no to 1130 is that question, will this make life more affordable in Colorado, or will it make life more expensive in Colorado? And the answer is demonstrably, this bill will make life more expensive and deserves your no vote. Thank you, Mr. President.
Further discussion, Senator Danielson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to address something. So, folks, all this bill does is take the existing prevailing wage language that we enacted in 2019 and extend it to state agencies. All it says is that, currently what it says is if you're a utility, you can engage in a project labor agreement. All this bill does now is extend that access to state agencies. It's an opt-in, it's optional. It could be beneficial to the state and to the employees who do the projects. But on the piece, if there's still any question, I understand for those who are less familiar with this kind of work and this kind of policy, it may seem counterintuitive, but the reason that we left the language as is, which again was established in the 2019 law that I authored, is that it uses industry standard language that refers to the lowest bid amongst those who meet the qualifications of the RFP or other state guidelines. So that's all it does is permit that, which is, again, industry standard language that gives the state agency the ability to navigate through their RFP process. The amendments that were proposed on second reading would have required the highest bid, so that doesn't make any sense to me as a taxpayer that we would require the state agency only go with the highest bidder, when what we're talking about is the ability for the state agency to go with the lowest bid amongst those who meet the qualifications of the RFP or other state guidelines. That's it. Again, extremely permissible, but it's a good provision designed to keep costs as low as possible while still ensuring that the lowest bidder is qualified to perform the work under the terms of the RFP and other state laws. So just to clear that up, again, I urge an aye vote on 1130.
Further discussion, seeing none, the motion is the passage of House Bill 1130. Are there any no votes? Senators, Mr. Minority Leader, Frizzell, Rich, Pelton B, Simpson, Bright, Carson, Pelton R, Catlin, Liston, Baisley, Kirkmeyer, with a vote of 22 ayes, 12 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused. House Bill 1130 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Weissman, Winter, Wallace, Cutter, Gonzalez, Judah, Michelson Janae, Kip, Marchman, Amabile, Ball, Sullivan, Snyder, Exum. Please add the president. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title of Senate Bill 118.
Senate Bill 118 by Senators Bridges and Judah and Representatives Stewart and Jackson concerning health insurance coverage for prenatal visits without cost sharing.
Senator Judah.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move SB 25-118 on third reading and final passage.
Further discussion? Seeing none. The motion is the passage of Senate Bill 118. Are there any no votes? Senators Rich, Baisley, Liston, Kirkmeyer, Frizzell, Pelton R, Catlin, Mr. Minority Leader, Carson, Simpson, Bright, Pelton B, with a vote of 22 ayes, 12 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused. Senate Bill 118 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Wallace, Michelson Janae, Winter, Kip, Gonzalez, Cutter, Amabile, Doherty, Roberts, Mullica, Exum, Snyder, Marchman, Ball, Henriksen, Weissman. Please add the president. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to Senate Bill 301.
Senate Bill 301 by Senators Wallace and Kirkmeyer and Representatives Leader and Johnson concerning authorization for a healthcare provider to adjust a chronic maintenance drug prescription without prior authorization from an insurance carrier.
Senator Wallace.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 301 on third reading and final passage.
Further discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of Senate Bill 301. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, and 1 excused, Senate Bill 301 is passed. Smart decision. Co-sponsors: Mabile, Gonzalez, Kip, Michelson Janae, Cutter, Mr. Majority Leader, Winter,
Because we're colleagues of Wells.
Judah, Ball, Mr. Majority Leader again, Pelton B, Frizzell, Carson, Catlin, Pelton R, Liston. What a great bill to co-sponsor. Great bill. First time. Not the first time. Please add the president. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title, Senate Bill 299.
Senate Bill 299 by Senator Wallace and Representatives Brown and Soper concerning measures to increase consumer protection in certain residential clean energy system transactions.
Senator Wallace.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 299 on third reading and final passage.
Man, you're a professional now. A couple bills, one day. The motion is the passage of Senate Bill 299. Are there any no votes? Mr. Minority Leader.
Can't win them all.
Frizzell, Pelton B, Kirkmeyer, Bright, Carson, Pelton R, Liston, Baisley. Please add Senator Mullica as a no vote. Senator Snyder. What's going on here? With a vote of 23 ayes, 11 no, 0 absent, 1 excused, Senate Bill 299 is passed. Co-sponsors, senators. Yes, Senator Wallace, you are a co-sponsor on your bill. Gonzalez, Judah, Kip, Winter, Michelson Janae, Cutter, Ball, Bridges, Henriksen. Please add the president. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to Senate Bill 142.
Senate Bill 142 by Senators Baisley and Cutter and Representative Velasco concerning changes to the Wildfire Resiliency Code Board's code implementation requirements.
Senator Cutter.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill 25-142 on third reading and final passage.
Further discussion? Seeing none, the motion is to pass Senate Bill 142. Are there any no votes? Senators Pelton B, Bright, Carson, Pelton R, with a vote of 30 ayes, 4 no, 0 absent, 1 excused, Senate Bill 142 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Winter, Kip, Michelson Janae, Wallace, Snyder, Judah, Exum. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title of Senate Bill 285.
Senate Bill 285 by Senator Roberts and Representatives Lukens and Soper concerning updating the fee schedule for the fees paid by retail food establishments.
Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill 285 on third reading, final passage.
Further discussion? Seeing that the motion is the passage of Senate Bill 285. Are there any no votes? What? I mean, if you're going to raise it, don't look sad. Senator Pelton B. Carson, Pelton R, Baisley, Rich, Frizzell, Liston, This is no votes on 285. With, Senator Catlin is a no vote. With a vote of 26 ayes, 8 noes, 0 absent, 1 excuse, Senate Bill 285 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Marchman, Kip, Cutter, Bridges, Wallace, Gonzalez, Amabile, Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to Senate Bill 290.
Senate Bill 290 by Senators Mullica and Kirkmeyer and Representative Byrd, concerning the creation of the Provider Stabilization Fund to make provider stabilization payments to eligible safety net providers that serve low-income uninsured populations in the state and in connection therewith maximizing federal funds to stabilize the healthcare safety net and making an appropriation.
Senator Mullica.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill 290 on third reading and final passage and request permission for a third reading amendment.
Senator Mullica, please tell us why you need a third reading amendment.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just coming from the drafter and having conversations from the OSPB director, we just have some clarifying and technical language that we wanted to put in there.
The motion is Senator Mullica's request for permission to offer a third reading amendment. Are there any no votes? Or is that just a voice vote?
I think it's just a voice vote.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it and permission is granted. I do, but I'm trying to memorize it on the last couple of days. Senator, is there an amendment? There's a member at the desk. Mr. Schaffler, please read L10.
Amendment L10,
Senator
amendment Grossman.
Mullica.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Amendment L10.
To the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. President. As we said, this was clarifying language coupled with some technical changes. This basically just says that they don't need permission for they don't need over expenditure authority so long as they are only expending what they were appropriated. Just want to make sure it's clarifying and clear. Came from the director of OSPB. Would ask for a yes vote.
Further discussion on L10? Seeing none, the motion is the adoption of L10 to 290. Are there any no votes? What? Mr. Minority Leader. Senator Liston.
Now do we move the bill?
Senator Sullivan. With a vote of 31 ayes, 3 noes, 0 absent, and 1 excuse, L10 is adopted. Further discussion on the bill? Seeing no further discussion, the motion is the passage of Senate Bill 290. Are there any no votes? Any no votes on 290? Senators Baisley, with a vote of 33 ayes, 1 no, 0 absent, 1 excuse, Senate Bill 290 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators, Mr. Minority Leader Amabile, Mr. Majority Leader. I forgot. My bad, bro. No, men of color, we got to stick together. Men of color, we got to stick together. Mr. Majority Leader, Senators Marchman, Gonzalez, Cutter, Wallace, Judah, Kip, Winter, Michelson, Janae. I deserve that. Weissman, Ball, Exum, Simpson, Bright, Pelton R, Liston, Frizzell, Catlin, Ball. Please add the president. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to Senate Bill 303.
Senate Bill 303 by Senators Amabile and Bridges and Representatives Taggart and Byrd, concerning the repeal of the Natural Disaster Grant Fund.
Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move a true Colorado bill, Senate Bill 303, on third reading and final passage.
Ah, I see what you did there. Senator Bridges will be fined. I'm just joking.
303.
Seeing no further discussion. What?
Thank
No one's wearing. Someone's not wearing a tie.
Bolo.
Oh, that works.
Oh.
You want to pull it
Colorado
up?
bill. Colorado tie for
I
Colorado
don't know
bill.
what you're saying.
I don't either.
Thank you, Senator Snyder. The motion is the passage of Senate Bill 303. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 1 excused, Senate Bill 303 is passed. Co-sponsors.
No need.
Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to Senate Bill 307.
It's about decarbonization tax credits, yeah. No, it's a Hansen special.
Senate Bill 307 by Senators Amabile and Bridges and Representatives Sirota and Byrd concerning the decarbonization tax credits administration cash fund and in connection therewith requiring that money credited to the fund not exceed the net revenue from the collection of oil and gas severance tax, transferring $2,500,000 from the Energy and Carbon Management Cash Fund to the fund, and transferring $2,500,000 from the fund to the Energy and Carbon Management Cash Fund.
Senator Amabile.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill 25307 on third reading and final passage.
Further discussion. Seeing none, the motion is the passage of Senate Bill 307. Are there any no votes? What? Senators Rich, Baisley, Carson, Pelton B, Liston, Frizzell, Senator Pelton R as a no vote. With a vote of 27 ayes, 7 no, 0 absent, 1 excused, Senate Bill 307 is passed. Co-sponsors. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title, Senate Bill 26.
Senate Bill 26 by Senator Mullica and Representatives Marshall and Joseph concerning the adjustment of certain tax expenditures.
Senator Mullica.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill 26 on third reading and final passage.
Further discussion. Seeing none, the motion is the passage of Senate Bill 26. Are there any no votes? Senators Rich, Baisley, Pelton B, Carson, Catlin, with a vote of 29 ayes, 5 no, 0 absent, 1 excused, Senate Bill 26 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Kip, please add the President. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title of Senate Bill 72.
Senate Bill 72 by Senators Mullica and Pelton B and Representative Lindsay and Soper concerning the regulation of kratom and in connection therewith making an appropriation.
Kratom, Senator Mullica.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill 72 on third reading and final passage.
Further discussion. Seeing none, the motion is the passage of Senate Bill 72. Are there any no votes? Senators Rich, Baisley, Sullivan, Henriksen, any other no votes? With a vote of 30 ayes, 4 no, 0 absent, 1 excused, Senate Bill 72 is passed. Co-sponsors for Senator Janal. Amabile, Kip, Michelson Janae, Bridges, Mr. Schaffler. Oh, please add Senator Roberts as a co-sponsor. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title of House Bill 1112.
House Bill 1112 by Representatives Titone and Hamrick and Senators Exum and Frizzell concerning the enforcement of certain motor vehicle statutes related to the failure to register a vehicle.
Senator Frizzell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move House Bill 251112 on third reading and final passage and ask for an aye vote.
Further discussion. There is further discussion. Senator Pelton B.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just would like to explain my no vote today, not because I'm against law and order, because I think that that's what the sponsors are trying to get at, but I want to make sure that I explain why. Because I think that this building has priced people out of registering their vehicles with the continuing of adding of fees onto registration costs, all in the name of helping transportation. Which, come on out to my district, I'll take you to all kinds of roads that I'm not getting fixed with all the additional fees. Because that is my frustration with this bill. I appreciate the two senators bringing this bill today because they want to do law and order and make sure that people are following the law. But I think that they've priced, this building has priced folks out of registering their vehicles. It's expensive. And I think the frustration is mounting throughout the districts, throughout the area, with the increasing of fees over and over and over again, all in the name of fixing transportation, which again, I am so excited because I get a reporter that's coming out on the 22nd that I get to drive all over my district to show them how bad the roads are. And I'm gonna say, what have we paid for? That's why I'm voting no on this bill today. Not because I don't believe in enforcing the law, it's because we have priced folks out of what it costs to register their vehicles. And that's why I'm doing that. So I thank you and I ask for a no vote on 1112.
Senator Frizzell.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I'm very grateful for the words from the good senator from Sterling. And I share his frustration because I don't believe that our state transportation dollars are being spent, allocated, however you want to put it, appropriately. And we have very dire needs in many, many areas, perhaps all areas of the state of Colorado. Our infrastructure from a transportation standpoint is crumbling and not being tended to appropriately. That's not what this bill is about. This bill is about giving local governments the authority to enforce registration by allowing citations to be issued from a municipal court. That's kind of it. Right now, municipal courts are not able to do so. And I don't know about you, especially since I put my name on this bill, and this bill is supported by my hometown of Castle Rock municipality, the town of Castle Rock, because they have this need. I drive as many miles as you all do, and every day I see cars with no tags, expired tags, sometimes years old. And this is about enforcing the law. And you know what? I guess I would point out that if we were able to collect those fees on all of those expired and missing tags, perhaps we could do a bit better job maintaining our roads, because they need it. So I ask for your aye vote and appreciate your attention today.
Further discussion. Senator Exum.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I want to thank my co-prime, the good senator from Castle Rock, for encouraging words. This bill is not a mandate. It's to encourage and enforce compliance with vehicle registration laws, and ask for an aye vote. Thank you.
Very good. Seeing no further discussion, the motion is the passage of House Bill 1112. Are there any no votes? Senators Pelton B., Bright, Carson, Baisley. With a vote of 30 ayes, 4 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, House Bill 1112 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Bridges, Henriksen, Michelson Janae, Cutter, Kipp, please add the president. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title of House Bill 1105.
House Bill 1105 by Representatives Camacho and Bacon and Senators Gonzalez and Bridges concerning an adjustment to the total employer contribution rate of the Denver Public Schools Division of the Public Employees Retirement Association in connection with the equalization status of the association's Denver Public Schools Division with the association school division as required by the merger of the Denver Public Schools retirement system with the association.
Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. President. We move House Bill 25-1105 on third reading and final passage and ask for an aye vote.
Further discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of House Bill 1105. Are there any no votes? Senators Rich, Baisley, Liston, with a vote of 31 ayes, 3 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, House Bill 1105 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Winter, Michelson Janae, Ball, Cutter, Judah, Henriksen. What a great bill to co-sponsor. Please add the president. Oh, Senator Exum. Please add the president. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to House Bill 1004.
House Bill 1004 by Representatives Woodrow and Mabry and Senators Gonzalez and Henderson concerning pricing coordination by landlords.
Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. President. We move House Bill 25-1004 on third reading and final passage and ask for an aye vote.
Further discussion. Seeing none, the motion is the passage of House Bill 1004. Are there any no votes? Senators, Mr. Minority Leader, Kirkmeyer, Frizzell, Rich, Pelton B., Simpson, Bright, Carson, Pelton R., Catlin, Liston, Baisley. With a vote of 22 ayes, 12 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, House Bill 1004 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Winter, Kipp, Judah, Wallace, Cutter, Danielson, Michelson Janae, Weissman, Sullivan, Exum. Please add the president. General orders. Second reading of bills. One quick second, Senadora. Mr. Schaffler, please excuse Senator Baisley. Now, General Order, second reading of the bills. Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of General Order, second reading of bills.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. The Senate resolves itself in Committee of the Whole for consideration General Order, second reading of bills. And Senator Gonzalez will take the chair. Get you some. You are welcome.
Committee will come to order. The court rules relaxed for everyone in the chamber forever, ever, during the pendency of, the Committee of the Whole. With that, Mr. Schaffler, will you please read the title to Senate Bill 288?
Senate Bill 288 by Senator Rodriguez concerning preventing certain disclosures of intimate depictions and in connection therewith creating a cause of action for non-consensual disclosure of an intimate digital depiction and adding and amending related provisions in criminal law.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 288 and the Judiciary Report.
To the Judish Report.
In the Judiciary, we did an amendment. There was some technical fixes to wordings. We added an update to the declaration and also did an amendment for a request from the Broadcasters Association.
Is there further discussion on the committee report? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of the committee report to 288. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and that report is adopted. There is an amendment at the desk. Mr. Schaffler, will you please read L4 to 288?
Amendment L4,
Mr.
amend printed
Majority
bill.
Leader,
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move L004.
to the amendment.
Thank you. L004 adds the same computed generator deepfake language as we were amending in the adult revenge porn statute. See revised statutes 18-7-107 and 18-7-108 to the similar juvenile statutes for sexting under 18-7-109, which was created to ensure that teens who are sexting and sharing images of themselves or posting intimate images without permission of similarly engaged teens are not charged like adults would be with distribution of child pornography. This alignment language was requested by CICASA and the defense attorneys in order to ensure we continue that direction with deepfake images, so it ensures that teens can still not be charged with anything other than the sexting statute, even when a computer-generated image is similar age. Ask for an aye vote.
Is there further discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of L4. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. L4 is adopted. To the bill. There's an amendment at the desk. Mr. Schaffler, will you please read L5?
Amendment
to
L5, amend printed bill.
Senator Rodriguez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move L005.
To the amendment.
The original bill had criminalized the intimate deepfake images that depict sexual contact and explicit conduct, which are found in other areas of criminal law but are broader than the terms sexual acts. This amendment returns the statutory language to sexual acts to limit the type of activity depicted. This was negotiated with CICASA and the defense attorneys and is clear law in this area of crime. Ask for an aye vote.
Is there further discussion on L5? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of L5 to Senate Bill 288. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and that amendment is adopted. Mr. Schaffler, will you please read L6 to 288?
Amendment L6, amend
Senator
printed bill.
Rodriguez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move L006.
To the amendment.
The amendment is twofold. It gets rid of confusing and broad language in the revenge porn sections of the bill that created overbreadth appellate concerns by the AG, DAs, and defense attorneys, namely stored data that is capable of conversion into a visual image. It's confusing, and we deleted it for those reasons in this amendment. The second change in L006 is a cleanup to again ensure that the revenge porn crimes in 18-7, 107, and 108 are limited to the prosecution of adults sharing intimate images of adults, so that it's very clear juveniles cannot be charged with the same crimes.
Is there further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of L6 to 288. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. L006 is adopted. Mr. Schaffler, will you please read L7 to 288?
Amendment L7, amend
Senator
printed bill.
Rodriguez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move L007.
To the amendment.
This was a discussion we had with the Motion Picture Association to ensure that their movies, shows, etc. are clearly parodies and are protected from civil and criminal liability. Ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of L7 to 288. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. L7 is adopted. To the bill. Minority Leader Lundin.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. The Majority Leader and I have not spent a lot of time interacting on this, but I do like elements of the bill. I like where he's going with the bill. I like the construct of policy that he's putting in place, but I am troubled by the enforcement mechanism, the civil cause of action. And so I would seek to promote the policy, agree on the policy, probably do some additional tweaking on the policy, but I would strike the elements of the bill that, quite frankly, the sponsor will argue, well, that's the enforcement of the bill. And I'm saying, well, let's get there, but I don't think this is the way to get there. Because, yes, do I believe in the policy? Yeah, I do. I think we need to do something about this, and the policy is fundamentally correct, although not precisely or perfectly correct. I just don't like the enforcement.
With that, Mr. Schaffler, will you please read L8 to 288?
Amendment L8, amend printed bill, page 3, strike lines 2 through 25, strike
Senator
pages
Lundin.
4.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I movement 8 to Senate Bill 288.
To the amendment.
As I was intimating, this particular amendment still leaves the bill as a 17-page policy statement. It is still a meaningful, substantial bill with this amendment. However, this amendment takes the first 7 pages out of the bill, or pages 2 through 9 out of the bill, 2 through 11 out of the bill, the enforcement provisions. I think as we go willy-nilly and create civil causes of action, private rights of action, we just engender a significant amount of lawyers being enriched as people sue each other. I think perhaps at the end of the day, perhaps an attorney general enforcement, a district attorney enforcement, enforcements through the existing elements of law and government might be a better way to approach this. So this amendment would strike the civil cause of action from the bill.
Is there further discussion on L8? Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I ask for a no vote on L008. Obviously, we do have a civil action in this bill. It's capped at 120,000. It's a small ask to create some enforcement under some of the crimes, but I don't know how we look at a way at just making a criminal crime and not do enforcement for somebody that's been emotionally and damagedly harmed, and allows for more control and hopefully less obligation to commit these crimes. So I ask for no vote.
Senator Weissman.
Thanks, Madam Chair. I'm also going to ask for a no vote and just sound a few themes. One, if you have come to understand anything about the harm that happens from these sorts of things, which those of us in judiciary have, I think allowing civil recourse is appropriate in these cases. I would also observe DC v. Heller was private civil litigation. McDonald v. City of Chicago was private civil litigation. Dobbs v. Jackson was private civil litigation. Cases that I think have been appreciated on this side of the aisle. We don't develop the law, we don't vindicate rights without private causes of action in this country. We never have since the founding. So let's be careful what we wish for. I ask for a no vote.
Further discussion? Minority Leader Lundin.
Thank you very much. My argument is simply this. If we care about the policy and we choose to put the policy into the law, and agree, again, not a lot of disagreement on what we're trying to approach to develop here in the policy. If we care enough about that, then we should have the enforcement contained in the same set of frame and not allow it just to become a cottage industry. Not saying that false or salacious or inappropriate cases might be brought, but when there is money at stake, you can't always be certain of the motivations. I think if we were to enforce this through the existing law enforcement mechanisms in the state of Colorado, we would find that we would have a more pure application of the law and the enforcement thereof, and therefore argue in favor of Amendment 8 to Senate Bill 288.
Any further discussion on L8? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of L8 to 288. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. No. The noes have it. L8 fails. Is there further discussion on 288? Seeing none, Majority Leader Rodriguez? Nope. Seeing no further discussion, the motion before the body is the adoption of 288. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 288 is adopted. Mr. Schaffler, will you please read the title to 1291?
House Bill 1291 by Representatives Wilford and Froelich and Senators Winter and Danielson concerning measures to increase protections for persons engaged with transportation network companies.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to lay over Senate Bill 1291 until tomorrow, April the 29th.
Motion is to lay over 1291 to 429. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. That bill will lay over 1 day. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to 1183.
House Bill 1183 by Representatives Gilchrist and Bacon and Senators Ball and Doherty concerning the creation of a working group to study the use of calorimetric field drug tests and in connection therewith making an appropriation.
Senator Ball.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move House Bill 251183 and the accompanying Judiciary Committee report.
To the Judish report. Senator Ball.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In Judiciary, we adopted an amendment that added one organization to the stakeholders that are involved in this bill.
Is there any further discussion on the Judiciary Committee report? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of the Judish report. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposition?
No. We win.
The four ayes have it. That Judiciary Committee report is adopted. To the bill.
Oh, you got it?
Mr. Schaffler, will you please read L18 to House Bill 1183?
Amendment L18,
Senator
amending
Ball.
gross.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Amendment L18 makes one adjustment to accommodate for the contracting timeline. We are simply giving the chair of this committee the approval to sign the contract because the committee itself won't meet until after the contracting process is supposed to be finished.
Is there any further discussion on L18? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of L18 to House Bill 1183. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. That amendment is adopted. To the bill, Senator Carson. Thank you for being in the well. Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I've learned that when you're in the chair, you get to the well quickly.
That is correct.
I will
Thank
pay
you.
attention to that. I think this bill certainly has merit. I'm not opposed to it. I think, quite frankly, we heard this in the Judiciary Committee, and I think it's an area that deserves a lot of study. And I am pleased that the sponsors of the bill included a number of representatives from law enforcement. So I think it'll be a balanced look at the issue. I do have one addition I want to propose. And I have an amendment, Madam Chair.
Mr. Schaffler, will you please read L12 to House Bill 1183?
Amendment L12, amending gross bill page 7 after line 13, insert 2.5 prior making findings.
Senator Carson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Amendment L012.
That's a proper motion to the amendment.
So this amendment opens the process up a bit more to public discussion, public scrutiny. I appreciate that the task force has, a lot of what you might call stakeholders involved. But this amendment would require some outreach throughout the state of Colorado, geographically and to further constituencies. And the amendment simply states that prior to making findings and recommendations as required pursuant to subsection 3 of this section, the working group shall hold a public hearing in each congressional district concerning the use of colorimetric field drug tests. That's a mouthful. The working group shall offer an opportunity for testimony at each public hearing to allow members of the public to provide input concerning the use of colorimetric field drug tests. So this is an issue that I think would be very interesting to the public. I don't think it's an area that's particularly well known out in the community. And so I think as we have discussion about it, we have studies into it, and we potentially have proposals brought to the legislature to study this issue. It's probably wise to make sure that the public has a lot of input into the process. So with that, I would urge my colleagues to support this addition to House Bill 1183. This is Amendment L012.
Further discussion regarding L12. Senator Ball.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to thank the good senator from Highlands Ranch for putting forth this amendment. I understand where it's coming from, which I think is a good place, but I would urge a no vote for the simple reason that, first, I think this would drive up the cost on this bill and lead to a increased fiscal note. But second of all, I don't think this process is necessary. I think we've built as the good senator from Highlands Ranch alluded to, a very well-rounded group of stakeholders who will have input into this process. And I think that should provide us with all vantage points to include vantage points from around the state. So I urge a no vote on Amendment L012.
Thank you. Further discussion,
Thank you,
Senator
Madam
Carson.
Chair. I thank the senator from Denver. I do think it would be a good idea to make sure we have more public input, particularly because I think at the end of the day, after all of these discussions and all of this task force meets, we're probably going to see some legislative recommendations, or potentially. I don't know that for sure, obviously, but that could certainly be one of the issues, and I think it would be good to make sure we hear from folks. You know, this amendment requires the working group to gather public input through town hall meetings in each congressional district before making any recommendations. By actively encouraging engagement from the community, the working group can gain valuable insights from those directly affected by drug policies. Engaging the public ensures transparency and accountability in government actions, and it fosters trust and demonstrates that the government is listening to and prioritizing the current concerns of its citizens. So with that, I would ask for an aye vote on L012.
Further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of L12 to 1183. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The noes have it. L12 is lost. Further discussion, Senator Rich.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And thank you to the sponsors for this bill. I was looking at page 8, and one thing I did like seeing, because so often when a working group is put together, like the good senator from, Senator Carson just said, is that a lot of times bills come out of this. And on page 8, paragraph 4, it says, the working group shall not recommend bill drafts as part of the recommendations. So with that word shall in there, I can only assume that's a mandate. And then as you work your way down that page, and on or before December 1, 2025, the working group shall report its findings and recommendations to the judiciary committees of the House of Representatives and Senate, or any successor committee. And at a minimum, the report must include the working group's findings and recommendations required pursuant to subsection 3 of this section. Well, I just thought maybe there needed to be a little bit more, and I have an amendment.
Mr. Schaffler, please read L13 to 1183.
Amendment L13, amend ring gross bill, page 8.
Senator
after
Rich.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This seems like a small ask. L013 requires a thorough cost-benefit analysis before any recommendations by the work group could be implemented. This analysis would evaluate the financial implications and overall efficacy of the proposed changes, ensuring that taxpayer money is justified, and it would ensure that any new measure adopted are effective and that their benefits outweigh their costs, protecting taxpayers from unnecessary financial burdens. Since they're going to do a report anyway, it seems like that's a small ask, and I move L013 to HB 251183 and ask for an aye vote.
Is there further discussion on L13? Senator Ball.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to thank the good senator from Grand Junction for putting forth this amendment and for carefully taking a look at this bill. I'm going to urge a no vote on Amendment L013 for a few reasons. One is that if the recommendations do at some point become legislation, of course we will have a fiscal note produced to look at those costs, but perhaps more importantly, any change to how police departments throughout the state employ colorimetric field testing, those costs are going to be felt at the local level, and those voices are in the committee the working group that will be working on this bill. So I think we'll have that perspective on the trade-offs between different approaches and what those costs are. But I think we'll get a better sense of what those trade-offs are coming from the working group as it stands than coming from the staff of the Legislative Council.
Minority Leader Lundin.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I rise in support of Amendment 13. Colorimetric. This is so cool. I mean, the word's cool, the idea's cool. It's kind of unknown. We're trying to figure out exactly what it is, what its veracity is, how it might be applied. The bill is essentially a task force to go get some of that information. This amendment simply says, and in addition to figuring out how it all works and whether it applies properly and whether it's beneficial or not, let's make sure we actually know whether it's going to be a positive or negative financial impact on the taxpayers of the people of Colorado. On behalf of the taxpayers of the people of Colorado, I think Amendment 13 is a great amendment, and I would encourage you to include it with the consideration of the task force and the bill. Thank you very much.
Senator Rich.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I would like to renew my support of L013. It seems to me if there's costs involved and it's going to be felt even at the local level, we ought to know what those are, because that could very well become an unfunded mandate. And again, I don't think it's asking a whole lot. I ask for an aye vote on L013.
Is there further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of L13 to House Bill 1183. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no? No. The noes have it. L13, I'm sorry. The noes have it. L13 is lost. To the bill, Senator Frizzell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, I had the opportunity to hear this bill in judiciary, and I think it has a lot of merits. And we heard testimony from a wide variety of folks who really talked about some of the issues around the current testing paradigm and the use of the now made famous word colorimetric field drug testing. There are clearly problems afoot with colorimetric field drug tests, and I appreciate the bill sponsors bringing this issue to us, and I think that a work group is a great way to handle the problem. And I also wanted to voice my appreciation of the diversity of folks that are going to be sitting on this work group. It's very important to have that this is a bipartisan effort, and it's also very important that we include law enforcement very substantially, as well as they are the people who actually administer these drug tests. I do think, not all bills are perfect, and especially as we get towards the end of session, things can get a little crazy and busy for us all. I do appreciate my good colleagues who have brought some good suggestions to this bill, and I have one of my own.
Mr. Schaffler, will you please read L17 to 1183?
Amendment L17, amending gross bill.
Senator Frizzell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, I move Amendment L017 to House Bill 1183.
Proper motion, please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So members, all this does, this actually inserts 3 lines on page 8 after line 7, and that section has to do with the work group and what they recommend, what they don't recommend. And so, for example, the preceding section, or section 4, says the working group shall not recommend bill drafts as part of its recommendations, which I think is great. I really appreciate that. We're not we're going to leave it to the legislators to legislate and the experts to help inform opinions that are going to drive that legislation. But what my suggestion is to insert after that phrase that the working group shall not make a recommendation that conflicts with standards concerning drug testing adopted by a nationally recognized law enforcement organization. So this is just, all it's doing is putting some guardrails, if you will, around the recommendation, saying, you know, let's make sure that we're recommending things that are in alignment with current standards. And so I would ask for your aye vote on this particular amendment. It's just aligning the group's efforts with existing legal requirements.
Is there any further discussion on L17? Senator Ball.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I would like to thank the good senator from Castle Rock for bringing forth this amendment and for her interest in the topic. I will urge a no vote on Amendment L017. The purpose of this working group is to find a solution that works for the state of Colorado, including relevant stakeholders in the state of Colorado. I don't think we should prejudge the outcome by aligning it with a national organization. I think that group should have the freedom to look at this problem and find something that works for all the stakeholders around the table.
Further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of L17. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no? The noes have it. L17 is lost. Further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of 1183. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no? The ayes have it. 1183 is adopted. Mr. Schaffler, will you please read the title of Senate Bill 284?
Senate Bill 284 by Senator Exum and Representatives Byrd and Martinez concerning allowing nonprofit youth service organizations to present to students on school campuses.
Senator Exum.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 284 and the Education Committee report.
To the Education report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We did a couple of amendments in the Education Committee just to clarify a couple of things. No communication during instructional time, and we narrowed the definition of eligible organizations and clarified respect for local control, and also clarified no new burden if policy already exists, meaning if schools with existing policies, they're exempt, and ask for an aye vote on the Education Committee report.
Is there any further discussion on the Education report? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of the Ed report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no? The ayes have it. That report is adopted. To the bills, Senator Exum.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senate Bill 284, as amended, simply requires local education providers to adopt a written policy by January 2026 that outlines how youth-serving nonprofits can share opportunities with students, and ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of 284. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Jesus, y'all. The motion before the body is the adoption of Senate Bill 284. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The ayes have it. 284 is adopted. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to House Bill 1273.
House Bills 1273 by Representatives Basnicker and Woodrow and Senators Ball and Hendrickson concerning requiring certain municipalities to modify building codes to allow 5 stories of a multifamily residential building to be served by a single exit.
Senator Hendrickson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move House Bill 1273 and the State Veterans and Military Affairs Committee report.
To the committee report for the SVMA.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In SVMA, we adopted 4 amendments. The first ensures that the local affiliate of the International Association of Firefighters or the Colorado Professional Firefighters Association, if applicable, is notified when there's a public hearing pertaining to proposed developments pertaining to the buildings discussed in this bill. we added an amendment that clarified that a occupiable roof counts as a story for the limitations set forth in the bill. We added an amendment that clarified that these buildings that are applicable under the bill can only have one below grade plane floor. We know that as a basement. And finally, we added an amendment that says that nothing in the section, the governing section, prevents the governing body of a subject jurisdiction from applying the building code, the fire code, reference standards, or other ordinances to single stair exit buildings. I ask for an aye on the State Veterans and Military Affairs Committee report.
Is there further discussion on the SVMA report to 1273? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of the SVMA report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. That SVMA report is adopted. Mr. Schaffler, will you please read L19 to 1273?
Amendment L19, amend Greengross Bill, page 6, line 6, before the second fire, insert international. Page 7 of the bill, line 4, before fire,
Senator
insert...
Ball.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Amendment L019 clarifies that the meaning of the building and fire code throughout the bill is a reference to the International Building Code and International Fire Code as used by local jurisdiction, and I ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of L19 to 1273. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. That amendment is adopted. Mr. Schaffler, please read L20 to 1273.
Amendment L20, amend
Senator
Greengross...
Ball.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Amendment L20 makes a technical change to the requirement for regular inspection of units to ensure that that burden doesn't fall on the local municipalities. This was at the request of the Colorado Municipal League, and I ask for an aye vote.
Would you like to move your amendment?
I would, Madam Chair. I move Amendment L020.
That is a proper motion. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of L20 to 1273. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. L20 is adopted. Mr. Schaffler, please read L21 to 1273.
Amendment L21,
Senator
amend
Ball.
Greengross Bill...
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Amendment L21 to House Bill 1273.
That is a proper motion to the amendment. Senator Ball.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Amendment L21 does several things at the request of the Colorado Professional Firefighters, and I just would like to extend my thanks to that organization for their discussions over the course of moving this bill. In short, there are two things that Amendment L21 does. The first is that it guarantees that any structure built under this bill is accessible through an aerial apparatus. And the second thing that this does is it includes a sunset clause on this bill with a 5-year review in which the Colorado Professional Firefighters have a say and are consulted in looking at both how many of these buildings have been built, how many units have been brought online, and what any safety implications are of single-stair construction under House Bill 1273.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of House Bill 1273. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Oh, I apologize. I misstated that motion. The motion before the body is the adoption of L21 to 1273. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. L21 is adopted. There's an amendment at the desk. Mr. Schaffler, will you please read L23?
Amendment L23, amend Greengross Bill,
Senator
page
Ball.
8.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Amendment L23 to House Bill 1273.
That is a proper motion to the amendment. Senator Ball.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This amendment simply ensures that the International Code Council, if they adopt similar standards for single-exit buildings in the future, that local governments can adopt those standards.
Is there further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of L23 to 1273. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. That motion is that amendment is adopted, L23. To the bill. Seeing no further discussion, the motion before the body is Senator Frizzell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First, I want to thank the bill sponsors for their work with stakeholders on this bill. I think you've heard me mention this before, but in the other chamber over yonder, I had the privilege of sitting on the Transportation, Housing, and Local Government Committee, and we heard this bill, something very similar to it, last year, and it actually, I believe, died in committee. It was quite the demonstration of unity on the part of law enforcement, our firefighting professionals, and many, many, many others. So, and as I recall, one of the really big concerns about that bill is today being solved by L021, which really acknowledges that the height of the building needs to be somewhat needs to be in alignment with the firefighting apparatus that's available to that jurisdiction. So, for example, if you have a ladder that only goes up 20 feet, it's really not a great idea to be building structures, residential structures that are 60 feet in height, for example. So I really want to voice my appreciation of that particular amendment to the bill sponsors because it's an important one. I just have to kind of go back to the title, though, when I'm looking at this bill. And the title says, concerning requiring certain municipalities to modify building codes. And I don't know that I agree with, in fact, I know I don't. I believe in local control. I think that municipalities need to be responsive to their citizens, and those citizens' needs may be different from whether you're in Denver or Castle Rock or Buena Vista or wherever around this great state you live. And I don't know that we should be in the business of, that we should not be in the business of telling municipalities what their building codes need to be. I believe very strongly that it should be up to those citizens and the leaders of those municipalities to determine this. So while I commend strenuously the bill sponsors for their work on this particular piece of legislation as it sits, as of now, amended, I'm afraid I simply cannot get there because I do not believe that requiring these municipalities to comply with the whims of the state of Colorado is appropriate. So thank you very much, and I ask you to join me in my no vote, all 15 of us that are actually on the floor.
Agree. Is there any further discussion related to 1273? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of House Bill 1273. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no? The ayes have it. 1273 is adopted. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to lay over House Bill 1327 until tomorrow, April 29th.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no? The ayes have it. 1327 will lay over one day. Mr. Schaffler, will you please read the title to Senate Bill 289?
Senate Bill 289 by Senator Cutter and Representative Brown concerning the creation of a drug donation program.
Senator Cutter.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 289 and the committee report.
To the committee report, the HHS report.
We just clarified that drugs that require refrigeration or special requirements are okay as long as the entity receiving the drug can verify the cold chain, created a definition of individual donor, and addressed issues regarding drugs with expiration dates. Just some safety precautions, and ask for your support.
Is there any further discussion related to the HHS report? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of the HHS report to 289. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. That HHS report is adopted. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to, please read L005.
Amendment L005, amend the Health and Human Services Committee report dated April 23rd, 2025, page 2 of the report, line 13, strike which and substitute that. Page 2 of the report, line 25, strike so and substitute requirement so. Page 2 of the report, line
Senator
26.
Cutter.
Sorry. Thank you. I move Amendment L005.
Thank you, Mr.
And ask for your
Schaffler.
support.
Thank you, Mr. Schaffler. To the amendment.
So this amendment is really just some cleanup language that we're doing in response to some issues from pharma. So everyone is in a good place now. We wanted to make sure that these drugs were only allowed from wholesale pharmacies that were nonprofits, and also clarified again some more language around the use of a classification of medications that is requires a lot more handling and precautions. So these are in response to stakeholding, and I ask for your support.
Is there any further discussion related to L5? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of L5 to 289. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. L5 is adopted. Senator Cutter, there's an amendment at the desk. Mr. Schaffler, please read L6.
Amendment L6, amend
Senator
printed bill.
Cutter.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Amendment L006 to Senate Bill 289.
To the amendment.
Thank you. This is adding in response to the ASP. This is in response to a request to add veterinary drug donation program, and I'm super excited about it. We made sure that this was okay with all the appropriate agencies, and this just allows veterinarians to make similar donations of drugs to people who need them, and I ask for your support.
Thank you. Is there further discussion related to L6? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of L6 to 289. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. L6 is adopted. To the bill, Senator Cutter.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senate Bill 289 amends statutory provisions related to unused prescription medicine to allow individuals in legal possession of unused medicine to donate these medications to a recipient such as a pharmacy or other entity allowed to dispense them. This is going to apply to nursing homes, assisted living residences, hospice, or other facilities. People can receive these donated medications. They can be dispensed through a pharmacy, a clinic, healthcare provider, to people who need them. We've made sure that we've gone through and ensured all the safety precautions in terms of chain of handling so that they're all safe, and there's plenty of guardrails around it. I'm excited about this because all of these prescriptions would either just be wasted. They're unopened prescriptions. Either they'd be wasted and thrown away. Maybe they leak into the landfills. People who need them don't have access to them. A lot of people have trouble affording the medications they need. And this has been an ongoing process. I want to give a nod to my colleague from, where are you from again? Denver. My colleague from Denver, who has been working on this issue for a number of years. There's a task force that has studied this deeply and made these recommendations. So I'm really honored to be able to bring this here today, and hope for your support.
Are there any further discussion? Senator Frizzell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, I've heard this bill in Health and Human Services last week, and I rise in support of Senate Bill 289, just drawing from my own experience where, through life, but, I remember when, my mother was in hospice care in her home, and they had to come in and just destroy all of the unused medication. And I remember watching them going, what a waste, because somebody else could benefit from this. And even from my own experience, sometimes the dosage that you're given doesn't actually work, and then you're stuck with a large quantity sometimes of medication that you can't use. It's not something you should flush down the toilet. That's not good for our water supply. And it's, you know, it's good not to be wasteful. So I rise in support of Senate Bill 289 and appreciate the sponsor bringing this.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Senator Rodriguez.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you to my good colleague from Castle Rock and my colleague from Jefferson County bringing this bill. Yes, I have worked on this bill. The reason this bill was important to me at the time is like when I was dealing with my pre-diabetes meds and the pharmaceutical companies were mail order, were 3 months at a time. I had medications that were $600 a month that I had, and in 1 month they tweaked my medication, and that medication was no longer needed, and it could have went to somebody who couldn't afford it that could have got those prescriptions. This bill has been very complicated. I thank my colleague from Jefferson for taking it on. I had a lot of big lifts this year, and I couldn't do the work on it, so I quit and somebody took it up. So just ask for an aye vote. Important policy. It's been worked on for 3 to 4 years, and I'm glad that we're possibly getting to the finish line. Thanks.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of Senate Bill 289. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 289 is adopted. Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
Motion is to rise and report. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. We will rise and report.
Senate will come to order. Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee met, considered several bills. Mr. Schaffler, will you please read the report?
April 28, 2025. Mr. President, your committee of the whole begs leave to report it has had under consideration the following attached bills, being the second reading thereof, and makes the following recommendations thereon. Senate Bill 288 as amended, Senate Bill 284 as amended, Senate Bill 289 as amended, passed on second reading and ordered engrossed and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. House Bill 1183 as amended, House Bill 1273 as amended, passed on second reading and ordered revised and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. House Bill 1291, House Bill 1327, laid over until April 29, 2025, and retaining their place on the calendar.
Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the adoption of the report.
The motion is the adoption of the committee of the whole report. Are there any no votes? Senators, Mr. Minority Leader, Rich Cadlin, with a vote of 30 ayes, 3 noes, 0 absent to excuse, the committee of the whole report is adopted. There is a piece of paper that the secretary will share with me that I can read. There it is in her hand. Perfect. Senate Bill 288 is amended, 284 is amended, 289 is amended, passed second reading, order, gross place, and counter for third reading and final passage. House Bill 113 is amended, and 1273 is amended, passed second reading, order, revised, place, counter for third reading and final passage. House Bill 1291, 13, and House Bill 1327 laid over until 429, 2025, retaining their place on the calendar. Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Colleagues, we're going to take a senatorial 5 to pass out special orders for House Bill 1250 and Senate Bill 163. So senatorial 5 so we can get those passed out and go into specials.
Senatorial 5. Special orders. Second reading of bills. Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate take up special order second reading of bills, which consist of Senate Bill 12, House Bill 1250 and Senate Bill 163 at the hour of 12:31 p.m.
The motion in the Senate to take up those bills on special orders at the hour of 12:31 p.m. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. The Senate will take up those bills on special orders at the hour of 12:31 p.m. Special orders, second reading of the bills. Senator Kipp.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for consideration of special ordered second reading of bills.
Oh, Mr. Majority Leader.
Somebody said that you weren't chairing the cow. Well, you have to come and make the motion. She just made the motion. Okay.
Is that motion okay? Is that motion okay? Oh, yeah. You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. The Senate resolves itself to Committee of the Whole for consideration of special orders second bills, and Senator Gonzalez will take the chair.
Thanks. Apologies for the confusion. That was entirely mine. The committee will come to order. The court rule is relaxed for everyone in the chamber. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to 1250.
House Bill 1250 by Representatives Hamrick and Duran and Senator Cutter concerning providing materials about gun violence prevention to parents with students in K through 12.
Senator Cutter.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move House Bill 25-1250.
Is there any discussion? Senator Liston.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, I'm not sure if I rise in support of 1250, but I think it's a good idea to be sure and teach gun safety to our children and the parents, anybody that has it. I see that the good senator from Jefferson County, the good senator, wants I think the schools to do it, but I wanted to stand in support. There's actually been a program available to parents. There's actually been a program available to parents and students for many years, actually for probably as long as, I don't know, 30 years or more. It's called the NRA Eddie Eagle Gun Safe Program, Eddie Eagle Gun Safe Program, for many, many years. I'm not sure exactly when it started. This program is a gun accident program for children in pre-kindergarten through 4th grade, though I think they probably would teach 5th, 6th, 8th graders. The teaching tool for this program is a video which has been around for at least 10 years, featuring Eddie Eagle and his so-called wing team. Eddie and his friends teach children that if they ever come across a gun in an unsupervised situation, they need to stop. Stop immediately. Don't touch the gun or the firearm. Run away and tell a grown-up, which makes perfectly good sense. Actually, it looks here like this program was created about over 35 years ago. It doesn't teach firearm use or encourage firearm use. It teaches safety first. So it's a great program. I would think that a program like this, which I'm sure has been in schools throughout the nation, I don't know about here in Colorado, but I agree gun safety is very, very important. But instead of creating necessarily a government program, there is a program that has worked successfully for over 35 years called the NRA Eddie Eagle program. And so I just wanted to make my colleagues aware that safety is first, it's paramount, and that there are groups that have been preaching gun safety and firearm safety for the better part of 35 years. Thank you, colleagues and Madam Chair.
Senator Cutter.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you so much to my good colleague from Colorado Springs for agreeing on the importance of gun safety. I just want to make y'all aware that this program is actually brought to us by students, and it just creates a process in which school districts provide information about existing safe storage practices. We aren't creating any new program. We aren't creating anything new. This is simply pointing the schools to and educational institutions to hand out and or point to the put on a website a link to existing information on gun violence prevention, safe storage. So it's not creating anything new. It's just pointing people to stuff we've done already. It has a 0 fiscal note and no new restrictions. So I appreciate so much your support of the concept, and colleagues, I would urge and I vote on the bill.
Senator Liston.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, I appreciate that this new program is on safe storage, which we all want safe storage. And I would imagine that the Eddie Eagle program is also about safe storage. But sometimes, unfortunately, firearms, as we all know, are not stored safely. So that's where the Eddie Eagle program comes in, is that if a child or a young person sees a firearm that somebody has laid somewhere, can happen in most any setting, before especially a young child goes and picks up a firearm and thinks it's a toy, or they're not even sure what it's all about, is that they teach them, once again, is to immediately stop, don't touch it, run away from it, and go tell an adult, which makes perfectly good sense, so that it can be in safe storage. I would like to, just to give you some idea of how effective this program is. Here is one, because I'm not going to take your time of literally the hundreds, if not thousands of testimonials, but here's one that I'll just share with you. The Eddie Eagle Gun Safe Program. It doesn't teach parents about guns, but it does teach parents about gun safety and how to relay that information to the kids correctly in a method that's really memorable to kids. It's the gun equivalent of stop, drop, and roll. My kids can recite it. So once again, I commend the senator for bringing this bill. I don't have time for an amendment, so I won't bring one right now, but I would hope that the good senator from Jefferson County might be amenable to a friendly amendment. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion on the bill? Senator Peltonar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You know, I seem to remember a senator, I won't say good senator, but a senator from Newcastle that ran that ran a bill to put hunter education back in our schools. I voted for that bill. I think school gun safety is important. I don't particularly, I think the materials handed out in the urban schools will be different than the rural schools. So I think we need some continuity. So I don't know whether this bill is the vehicle for it, but I appreciate the thought behind bringing this bill.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of 1250. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 1250 is adopted. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to Senate Bill 163.
Senate Bill 163 by Senator Cutter and Representatives Brown and Stewart concerning the establishment of battery stewardship programs for the disposal of certain batteries.
Senator Cutter.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 25163 and the Health and Human Services report.
Would you also
And the
like to-
appropriations report.
Thank you. To the HHS report.
Okay, in HHS, whoops, I have the wrong folder. 1 minute.
Can do the appropriations report? No.
Senatorial 5.
I don't know what I did with the folder. Sorry.
Senator Cutter.
Thank you, thank you, Madam Chair. So in Health and Human Services, we did some cleanup language to exempt medical devices, clarify that EVs are exempt, deal with the implementation deadlines, just some things to make sure that this ran smoothly, clarified battery products, and some technical amendments from CDPHE, so we ask for your support.
Is there any further discussion related to the HHS report? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of the HHS report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The HHS report is adopted. To the Appropriations Committee report, Senator Ball.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We adopted 2 amendments on appropriations to delay the implementation of this program until after fees have been collected to ensure minimal fiscal impact. And I encourage an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on the Approps report? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of the Approps report to 163. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All those opposed, no. Oh. Dang, the noes almost had that one. The ayes do prevail. The Appropriations Committee report is adopted as well. Mr. Schaffler, please read L7 to 163.
Amendment L7, amend the Health and Human Services Committee report dated
Senator
February
Cutter.
26.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This amendment does a number of things to clean it up. It clarifies and adds definitions to ensure this legislation is consistent with existing statute. It brings the assessment criteria in line with studies that have already been completed or ordered by other states, so Colorado-specific data are included while streamlining this whole process. It makes the enforcement and rule authority rest solely with CDPHE, and it ensures that the needs of rural Colorado, everybody, rural Colorado, are explicitly included in the implementation of this plan. A number of small word changes just in response to stakeholder feedback, so we ask for your support.
Further discussion on L7? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of L7 to Senate Bill 163. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, no. The ayes have it. L7 is adopted. To the bill.
Go ahead.
Senator Ball.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We're here today to discuss Senate Bill 163, which will create a system to collect and recycle batteries across Colorado. One of the things that I learned in running this bill is that batteries cause, on average, 19 fires per waste facility in the state of Colorado. So this is an immense cost for our fire departments throughout the state. It's also immensely wasteful because these are batteries that often can be recycled. Some of the materials can be reused, particularly the rare earth minerals. So 163 is it's a good bill. It puts the onus onto the companies that produce these batteries to minimize any fiscal impact on the people of Colorado, and I encourage an aye vote.
Senator Cutter.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I'm so pleased that my good colleague from Denver could join me on this bill. As some of you may know, I've been on this journey for a long time to create zero waste. It's an aspiration. And so I'm excited about this. It came about as a collaboration between the waste and the recycling industry. So that's really cool to me that everyone came together. And as my colleague mentioned, the firefighting community is also supporting of this bill because it is a hazard, really. So it'll benefit Colorado by setting up a system with some clear safety standards to collect all types of small and medium format batteries that can be easily removed from products. And I think this is really important. People you guys, no one's going to do anything that's too complicated or that they don't understand. So this is a great first step. If you can remove your battery, you can use, this program will address it. And it will fully fund, collect, process, transport, all of this recycling or responsible disposing of batteries. Using existing collection infrastructure. No local government or business will have to serve as a collection site, and it will be no cost to the state or to you all. You'll be able to drop it off, similar to what you can do with paint. So again, excited to reduce waste, protect our landfills and our groundwater and our soil health, and reduce the hazard caused by these batteries. So urge your support.
Senator Pelton B.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I first want to tell the sponsors that I appreciate them for bringing the bill. However, they forgot some of the batteries. I understand what they're talking about with easily removing of batteries, but some of the batteries that they left out are easily removed as well, especially the batteries that they use for power distribution. And we want to make sure that rural landfills aren't getting these batteries in their, out there, because that is something that could probably happen, and those batteries are easily removed. So I'm going to ask for an amendment.
Mr. Schaffler, will you please read L11?
Amendment L11, amend printed bill,
Senator
page 6.
Pelton B.
Thank you. I move L11 to 163.
To the amendment.
Thank you, Madam Chair. All it does is just add covered battery, including power distribution battery. So as a county commissioner, when we are going over these battery distribution facilities that were going to be put in our counties, I mean, the firefighters were very concerned about that, but we were also concerned about them contaminating our groundwater, especially when they get disposed of. We feel like that these batteries should be included in this bill. They are easily removable. You can go in and remove actually individual cells from each one of those battery components, and then that way, if they're removed, they can be properly disposed of. I understand that these are supposed to be small, medium batteries, but the problem is that we're ended up with a lot of batteries in our districts, especially my district, where the green energy projects are going. And I feel like that these should be counted in this stewardship program. So I ask for an aye vote on L11.
Is there any further discussion? Senator Ball.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I'd like to thank the good senator from Sterling for bringing this amendment. This bill, Senate Bill 163, focuses on what is doable, what is possible. And the lowest hanging fruit in the battery world are things like AAA, AA batteries that you can easily remove from things and that are small enough that you can take them to a facility where they can be recycled. So I urge a no vote on Amendment L011. We would love to expand this in the future to encourage all kinds of other batteries, but for now, 163 is focused on a problem that we know the solution works for, not other types of batteries which may be much harder to recycle.
Senator Pelton B.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I appreciate that, that sentiment, but my issue with this, and I'll go back to where it talks about in the bill, I'll go back to where it says that page 4, line 10, ensuring the proper recovery of use of portable and small medium format batteries prevents the ignition of fires and release of toxic materials into the environment. These batteries that they use for power distribution, they will release toxic materials in our environment in rural Colorado. Right where they're putting the projects. They're not putting these projects in, and I apologize to the good senator from Denver, Wash Park. So I've said that over and over in committee, and he's like, hey, that's my district. So, but I just want to make sure that we really emphasize the fact that we are trying to, if we're going to have this stewardship program, we should have something in there that actually talks about other batteries. And these batteries are very toxic in nature. They also start fires, And when they start fires, they don't stop. You have to take the oxygen completely out of the container when you're doing these, when you're fighting these fires. That's the only way you can stop these fires. So I know because in the Navy, when we had lithium batteries, that was all we had. We had this stuff called halon that would come down and take the oxygen completely out of the compartment. So if we're going to dispose of these batteries, we need to dispose of them properly, especially with power distribution batteries. That needs to be done. That needs to be part of this because they will put toxic materials in our water or even in our landfills. We need to make sure that they're taken away, or they're taken and properly away from our water supply. Water is very important to us out in eastern Colorado. So we want to make sure we do everything possible to protect our water supply with these toxic batteries that are coming into our communities. We need to be very, very, very careful on these power distribution batteries. I mean, there are a lot of counties that are concerned about this. And they are actually researching how we're going to use our land use code to make sure that there's certain possibilities. And maybe one of them is maybe we force the issue out there in our land use code that says they have to be part of the battery distribution plan. So maybe that's what we do as a local government. So again, I ask for an aye vote on L11.
Senator Cutter.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you to the good senator from Peltonia. Northern Peltonia, very important distinction. Thank you. I am so excited to hear that you are so about your deep concerns with the environment. We must be wearing off on you. I appreciate that a lot, and that I want to remind you that toxins are being released in all kinds of districts. In all kinds of ways, and I wish we could solve all those problems, and I am totally down to work on those things with you at any time. So I'm glad you're on board with that concept, and I'm looking forward to collaborating, but I just want to remind the body that we can't solve all of these problems at once. That's a whole different set of issues around dealing with those batteries, and I think it's really, really important we do it. And I would love to collaborate with you on that in the future. So with that, I urge a no vote on this amendment.
Senator Beltonar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I rise in support of Amendment 011. This may be a good thing for the renewable energy with wind and solar. Most of that electricity is developed and produced out on the Eastern Plains in Senate District 1 and Senate District 35. But the vast majority of that electricity is actually consumed up here on the Front Range. I like Amendment 011. I think where the majority of the electricity is consumed is where these batteries need to be disposed of with the generation of renewable energy. So I support 011 and would ask for a yes vote.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of L11 to 163. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. No. Noes have it. L11 is lost. Senator Pelton B.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. So I have one more amendment.
Mr. Schaffler, please read the title please read L10.
Amendment
Senator
L10,
Pelton
amend
B.
for,
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move L010 to 163.
To the amendment.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So what this one does is that the manufacturers of electric vehicle batteries must participate in the battery stewardship program as well, just to make sure that those auto dealerships that are in our districts don't end up throwing one of them away or somehow gets mixed up where it ends up in our landfill. I understand that this battery is a little bit more complicated than the little batteries that are being spoken about, but if we're talking about not releasing toxic materials into our water supply like these batteries would end up doing, we want to make sure that these batteries are doing the same thing, or making sure that they're under the same thing. So I ask for an aye vote on L10.
Further discussion? Senator Peltonar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I rise in support of Amendment 010. We had a bill earlier this session, and it was reported Cheyenne County had one electric vehicle. I have a friend that actually bought one, so now we have two in Cheyenne County. So I think it's imperative that these batteries are not disposed of out in rural Colorado, because we just do not utilize this type of transportation yet. And so I rise in full support of 010.
Further discussion? Senator Cutter?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you again for your concern and your advocacy on that. We were going to try to run something to deal with EV batteries this year and decided that needed a little bit more work, so I am all on board, but just not able to accomplish that this year. It's a completely different process and thing that we need to do. So, members, I ask for your no vote.
Further discussion to the amendment? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of L10 to 163. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no? No. Noes have it. L10 fails. To the bill, Senator Simpson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I actually rise in support of 163. It's been an interesting conversation and experience for me. Wasn't really an active recycler till I moved to Australia a few years ago and spent 2 years there, way out in the remote parts of Australia in the outback. And they actually made it really simple to recycle, and it got me hooked and started down this path. I remember speaking to the advocates about this bill last fall and into the winter, and would I consider sponsoring it? Look, it's just a little bit of a challenge. I do think, much like the ERP, I worry about the cost of doing this actually getting transferred down to the consumer. But I also recognize, I have a supply of lithium batteries that just grows and grows and grows, because I recognized a long time ago you can't just throw them in the dumpster and end up in a landfill somewhere. So we're just hanging on to these piles of lithium batteries that I have no idea what to do with them. So I was really interested in the policy and advancing the conversation and thinking about, much like paint recycling. I didn't even know we had a paint recycling program till I got here. So trying to educate folks about what options are is really important. I thought about lead cell batteries, car batteries, and cord charges. I don't think we could apply a cord charge to a D cell or a C cell battery, but we've just about eliminated, lead batteries ending up in landfills because there's a cord charge, and you bring them back the old one and you get your cord charge back. So I think I definitely recognize there's a challenge here and an issue and a problem that needs to be solved. I'm a little reluctant, but I think this is a step in the right direction, and with some thoughtful engagement and conversations, maybe we just make sure education rises to the top, that we figure out, allow people a place to dispose of those batteries on a regular basis, and where it just becomes routine. And I think we can certainly move forward in keeping those out of the landfill and out of the back of out of a trash truck that catches on fire and they dump their load in the middle of a street somewhere. So I'm with some reluctance and hesitancy, but I'm supportive of trying to move the ball forward and solve this problem. So I stand in support of Senate Bill 163.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of Senate Bill 163. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 163 is adopted. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
That is a proper motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. We will rise and report.
Senate will come back to order. Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee met, considered several things very specially. Mr. Schaffler, will you please read the report?
April 28, 2025. Mr. President, your committee of the whole begs leave to report has had under consideration the following attached bills, being the second reading thereof, and makes following recommendations thereon. Senate Bill 163, as amended, passed on second reading and ordered engrossed and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. House Bill 1250, passed on second reading and ordered revised and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage.
Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the report.
The motion is the adoption of the committee of the whole report. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 2 excused, committee of the whole report is adopted. Senate Bill 163 is amended, passed second reading, order gross place account of third reading and final passage. House Bill 1250 passed second reading, order revised place account of third reading and final passage. Consideration of House amendments to Senate bills. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title. This is Senate Bill 20.
Senate Bill 20 by Senators Weissman and Gonzalez and Representative Lindsay and Mabry concerning the enforcement of existing landlord-tenant law.
Senator Weissman.
Thanks, Mr. President. We move to concur in House amendments on Senate Bill 20.
Tell us why, Senator Weissman.
House did a few things. They caught some site errors. They expanded a provision of the bill dealing with giving of notice, and they slightly tightened the definition that's kind of operative here. They made a new defined term, pattern of neglect. We think it's all in keeping with the intent of the bill. We ask for your yes vote to concur.
Do we want to wait for folks to, we are waiting for folks to return to call the vote on concurrence with House amendments to Senate Bill 20. Waiting for members to return. There's the Honorable Minority Leader. We will take a senatorial vote. Where's he at? He's coming. There has already been a motion that the Senate concur with House amendments on Senate Bill 20. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent to excuse, that motion is adopted. Senator Weissman.
Thank you, Mr. President. We move for repassage of Senate Bill 20 as amended.
The motion is repassage of Senate Bill 20. Are there any no votes? What? Mr. Minority Leader, Senators Kirkmeyer, Frizzell, Rich, Liston, Pelton, R, Catlin, Bright, Roberts, Carson, Mullica, Simpson, Pelton B. With a vote of 20 ayes, 13 noes, 0 absent, 2 excused, Senate Bill 20 is repassed. Co-sponsors. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title, Senate Bill 144.
Senate Bill 144 by Senators Winter and Bridges and Representatives Wilford and Zakai concerning changes to the Paid Family and Medical Leave Insurance Act.
Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate concur with House amendments to Senate Bill 81.
Tell us why, Senator Bridges.
They made some technical change. Oh, wait, sorry, 144. My bad. Do we concur on 144?
Correct.
I'll do 81 later. They made some technical corrections. I mean, it's really, you know, whatever. It was House stuff.
Excellent. Seeing no further discussion, the motion is that the Senate concur with House amendments to Senate Bill 144. Are there any no votes? What? After that thorough explanation. Mr. Minority Leader, Senator Marchman, Catlin, Liston, with a vote of 29 ayes, 4 noes, 0 absent, and 2 excused, the motion is adopted. Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the repassage of Senate Bill 144.
The motion is a repassage of Senate Bill 144. Are there any no votes? Senators Marchman, Kirkmeyer, Mr. Minority Leader, Frizzell, Rich, Pelton B, Simpson, Bright, Carson, Pelton R, Catlin, Liston, with a vote of 21 ayes, 12 noes, 0 absent, and 2 excused, Senate Bill 144 is repassed. Co-sponsors. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title of Senate Bill 81.
Oh, I do. No, I got it. Yeah, no. Took it everything to do with
Senate Bill 81 by Senators Bridges and Amabile and Representative Byrd and Sirota concerning public financing and in connection therewith establishing the building urgent infrastructure and leveraging dollars authority, modifying the state public financing cash fund and allowing the state treasurer to use a security token offering for state capital financing.
Senator Amabile.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate concur with the amendments made in the House on Senate Bill 81.
Tell us why, Senator Amabile.
They made some adjustments to the bill so that it really focuses on large-scale infrastructure projects.
Very good. The motion is the Senate concur with House amendments to Senate Bill 81. Are there any no votes? On your own?
Yeah.
Senator Bridges.
Thank you. Yeah.
Mr. Minority Leader. Senator Kirkmeyer. With a vote of 30 ayes, 3 noes, 0 absent, 2 excused, that motion is adopted. Senator Amabile.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the repassage of Senate Bill 81.
The motion is a repassage of Senate Bill 81. Are there any no votes? Senators, Mr. Minority Leader, Kirkmeyer, Frizzell, Rich, Liston, Pelton R, Catlin, Carson, Bright, Simpson, Pelton B, with a vote of 22 ayes, 11 noes, 0 absent, 2 excused, Senate Bill 81 is repassed. Co-sponsors. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title, Senate Bill 205.
Senate Bill 205 by Senator Hendrickson and Representative Espinosa and Lindstedt concerning a firearm serial number check and in connection therewith creating a standardized procedure for a federal firearms licensee to request a firearm serial number check and imposing a penalty under certain circumstances if a licensee does not file a report with the law enforcement.
Senator Hendrickson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate concur with House amendments to Senate Bill 205.
Tell us why, Senator Henriksen.
Thank you, Mr. President. So the House adopted two amendments. There was language in the original bill that said the firearm serial number check must include at a minimum information regarding whether the gun is reported stolen, lost, or involved in an open criminal investigation. The at a minimum language gave rise to some conspiracy theories that there was fishing for more information than was required, when actually, lawyers just tend to be wordy. So we struck that language and said that the firearm serial number check must include information regarding whether the gun is reported stolen, lost, or involved in a open criminal investigation without the at a minimum. And then the other amendment, we changed 72 hours to 3 days because 3 is easier for the House to count to.
Very good. The motion of the Senate concur with House amendments to Senate Bill 205. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent to excuse, that motion is adopted. Senator Henriksen.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the repassage of Senate Bill 205.
The motion is the repassage of Senate Bill 205. Are there any no votes? Mr. Minority Leader, Senators Kirkmeyer, Frizzell, Rich, Pelton B., Simpson, Bright, Carson, Pelton R., Catlin, Liston, with a vote of 22 ayes, 11 noes, 0 absent, and 2 excused. Senate Bill 205 is repassed. Co-sponsors, Mr. Schaffler, please read the title of Senate Bill 184.
Senate Bill 184 by Senators Cutter and Weissman, Representative Ricks, concerning the continuation of the HOA Information Resource Center and in connection therewith implementing the recommendations contained in a 2024 Sunset Report by the Department of Regulatory Agencies.
Senator Cutter.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill 25, I move to concur with the House amendments to Senate Bill 25-184.
Tell us why, Senator Wiseman.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, the version that we passed included extending the office for the sunset recommended period of time. The House landed on a shorter increment of time. The office continues, which is the important part. We move to concur.
Further discussion, seeing none. The motion is that the Senate concur with the House amendments to Senate Bill 184. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent to excuse, that motion is adopted. Senator Wiseman.
Thank you. We move for the repassage of 184 as amended.
The motion is repassage of Senate Bill 184 as amended. Are there any no votes? Senators, Mr. Minority Leader, Kirkmeyer, Frizzell, Rich, Simpson, Liston, Pelton R., Catlin, Carson, Bright, Pelton B. With a vote of 22 ayes, 11 noes, 0 absent to excuse, Senate Bill 184 is repassed. Co-sponsors, Mr. Schaffler, please read the title, Senate Bill 197.
Senate Bill 197 by Senator Exman, Representatives Bacon, concerning changes to the Tony Grampus Youth Services Program and in connection therewith making and reducing an appropriation.
Senator Exum.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate concur with the House amendments to Senate Bill 197.
Tell us why, Senator Exum.
I'd be glad to. And this side of the aisle, you'll be glad to hear this. I don't want an applause because we can't applause, but the House changed the safety clause to petition clause.
Come on. Come on, somebody. Seeing no further discussion, the motion is that the Senate concur with House amendments to Senate Bill 197. Are there any no votes? Senator Bridges? Any no votes on concurrence? Mr. Majority, you withdraw your no vote on concurrence. Any other no votes on concurrence? Seeing none. With a vote of 32 ayes, 1 no, 0 absent to excuse, that motion is adopted. Senator Exum.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the repassage of Senate Bill 197.
Wow, this is a brand new, groundbreaking piece of policy that's never been introduced and has never been funded multiple years over and over again. All right. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate that. Seeing no further discussion, are there any no votes on repassage? With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent to excuse, Senate Bill 197 is repassed. Co-sponsors, Senator Bridges, Weissman, Gonzalez, Judah, and all these names I've called were already co-sponsors. Very good. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title of Senate Bill 79.
Senate Bill 79 by Senators Rich and Robertson, Representatives Taggart and Jackson, concerning the Colorado Vending of Digital Assets Act.
Senator Rich.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate concur with the House amendments.
Tell us why, Senator Rich.
Well,
Senator Roberts, tell us why.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd be happy to. So the House increased the daily limit for these transactions to $2,000 for new customers and then $10,500 for existing customers. Also created a 60-day timeline for the refund. I think it makes the bill better. I ask for an aye vote.
Very good. The motion, Senate concur with House amendments to Senate Bill 79. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and to excuse, that motion is adopted. Senator Rich.
thank you, Mr. President. I move for the repassage of Senate Bill 79.
Very good. Seeing no further discussion, the motion is repassage of Senate Bill 79. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, to excuse, Senate Bill 79 is repassed. Co-sponsors, Senators Henriksen, consideration of governor's appointments, consent calendar. Mr. Schaffler, please read all the appointments listed on the consent calendar.
Members of the Board of Trustees for Fort Lewis College for terms expiring December 31st, 2029. Jordan Dresser of Fort Collins, Colorado, to serve as an enrolled member of a federally recognized Native American tribe, appointed. Jill Hawley of Centennial, Colorado, appointed. Julia Duvall of Lakewood of Colorado, reappointed. Mary Robideau of Durango, Colorado, to serve as a resident of southwestern Colorado, reappointed.
Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I move for the
greatest
passage of all the consideration of governor's
majority
appointments
of all time.
consent calendar, which are Jordan Dresser of Fort Collins, Jill Hawley of Centennial, Julia Duvall of Lakewood, Mary Rubidoux of Durango for the Board of Trustees, Fort Lewis College.
Very good. Any discussion? Seeing none. The motion is the confirmation of all the appointments on the consent calendar. Are there any no votes on the consent calendar? With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, to excuse, those appointments are confirmed. Signing of bills.
The President has signed Senate Bill 194.
Wow, that's a lot of signing. Delivery to the governor.
To the governor for signature on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 5 p.m. Senate Bill 9, 31, 63, 125, 152, 164, 166, 177, 178, 191, 194, 199, 206, and 247.
Message from the governor. I will veto your chamber.
Honorable members of the Colorado Senate, pursuant to the authority vested in the office of the governor of the state of Colorado, I have the honor to inform you that I have approved and filed with the Secretary of State the following acts. Senate Bill 207, repeal certain rodent pest control statutes, approved on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Senate Bill 208, Department of Corrections inmate phone costs, approved on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Senate Bill 209, offender refuse community corrections placement, approved on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Senate Bill 210, repeal appropriation requirement, approved on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Senate Bill 211, Department of Corrections budgeting reports, approved on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Senate Bill 213, broadband infrastructure cash fund transfer, approved on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Senate Bill 215, repealing Colorado Student Leaders Institute, approved on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Senate Bill 218, permissible Colorado Department of Education uses of school transformation grants, approved on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Senate Bill 224, repeal requirement by Colorado app, approved on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Senate Bill 225, limited gaming fund distribution, approved on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Senate Bill 233, repeal Colorado School of Mines performance contract, approved on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Senate Bill 243, revert appropriated general fund money from Colorado Department of Labor and Employment, approved on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Senate Bill 244, reduce state funding assistant district attorney salaries, Approved on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Senate Bill 245, Housing Development Grant Fund Administrative Costs. Approved on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Senate Bill 248, Repeal Lease Savings Transfer to Capital Construction Fund. Approved on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Senate Bill 249, Repeal Annual General Fund Transfer to Revolving Fund. Approved on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Senate Bill 253, Remove Fee Reversion Animal Feeding Operations. Approved on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Senate Bill 259, Eliminate Destroyed Property Tax Reimbursement Program. Approved on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Senate Bill 260, Repeal Colorado Household Financial Recovery Pilot Program. Approved on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Senate Bill 263, Spending Authority Statutes. Approved on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Senate Bill 264, Cash Fund Transfers to the General Fund. Approved on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Senate Bill 265, Change Cash Fund to Subject to Annual Appropriation. Approved on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Senate Bill 267, Eliminate Roll Forward Authority Utilities Line Item. Approved on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Sincerely, Jared Polis, Governor.
Announcements. Senator Amabile.
Thank you, Mr. President. So good news, bad news. We have a lot of bills in appropriations tomorrow, and that's the good news. The bad news is we'll be meeting at 7:30.
Woo! Yeah. Who's bringing breakfast?
So see you all at 7:30 tomorrow for appropriations.
Doesn't have to go long. People can just vote bills yes or no. Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, the Senate Judiciary Committee will be meeting today, not in the old Supreme Court. We will be meeting in LSBB for today only. We will be considering appointments to the members of the State Board of Parole, the Colorado Commission on Judicial Discipline, and then thereafter we will hear House Bill 1098, House Bill 1304, and House Bill 1282 for action only. I do want to also acknowledge and announce today that on Wednesday, the Senate Judiciary Committee will be back in the old Supreme Court and will hear House Bill 1171 and then House Bill 1312. On House Bill 1312, given it is the time of year that it is, and also the number of individuals who have already signed up on this bill, we will be hearing alternating panels of 4 hours of proponents and 4 hours of opponents to the bill in alternating panels for a total of 8 hours of testimony. Thank you all so much, and I look forward to committee today and always.
Very good. Mr. Minority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Before the chair goes, I just wanted to ask a clarifying question. Understand the limitation, 4 hours per side. This is clearly one of the bills on the Judiciary Committee's agenda has generated an enormous amount of public interest, the most that I have experienced in 11 years as a legislator. And I'm curious how we arrived at the limitation of 4 hours. Why not 8 hours or 10 hours per side? I'm just curious. Was it there were 4 hours of opposition testimony, and therefore we decided that would be the limitation? How was it arrived at?
Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you to the good senator from Colorado Springs, no, Monument, my apologies.
Lundeenville.
For the question. You give me too much credit. Honestly, I asked the sponsors and we proceeded forward in the following manner. So that was my thought.
Mr. Minority Leader.
Thank you very much. And the chair has made an announcement. I presume it's determinative. I would ask a second question. Is it possible that we could allow for additional testimony, 5 hours each side, 6 hours each side? I just know that this particular issue has generated an enormous amount of public attention, more than anything I've seen in 11 years in the two chambers.
Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity, Mr. President, to engage in this debate on here at the well. I would certainly be open to having conversations, both in collaboration with the sponsors, with you, Mr. Minority Leader, and with any of the proponents. Look, we all understand that this bill, we understand that this bill is an important piece of policy for us to all consider. One. Two, I would say that I think my name has been on a couple of other bills that have also generated more information and interest from the public. And so I will just say that if you haven't been paying attention to all of my bills, maybe that's your loss. But with that being said, understanding that this is an important piece of policy for us to consider, happy to engage in all of these conversations, recognizing that there is important work to be done outside of and apart from this one bill. It also is not the only bill on the calendar, which is the other consideration, because I do anticipate that the other bill also would generate a fair amount of discussion. So with that, always happy to engage in conversations. My initial thought was a full 8 hours of testimony from all sides, right, would be thoughtful and sufficient, particularly given the testimony that arose in the House.
I'll allow one more comment.
Thank
If
you.
there's more discussion, I would love a senatorial 5 off to the side.
I appreciate
Mr. Minority
that.
Leader.
I appreciate very much, Mr. President, the latitude to discuss this. I appreciate also the bill sponsor's willingness to allow the chair and I to engage on this particular conversation. And I do want to make explicit that I did not in any way want to demean the ability of the good chair as a bill sponsor to bring interesting and controversial legislation. You are very good at that as well, Madam Chair. Thank you, Mr. President.
Is there further discussion? Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you. Different topic, different question. On the committee hearing today, at the sponsor's request, we will hear 1282 for action only first on the calendar, and then thereafter we'll proceed to consideration of the parole board members, CCJD, and the other bills in the calendar order as printed. Thank you.
Very good. Senator Marchman.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Senate Education Committee is going to meet 15 minutes upon adjournment. We are shooting for 1:45 in Committee Room 357. We will be hearing two bills, Senate Bill 123 and House Bill 1293. Looking forward to seeing you.
Senator Weissman.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is just an early notice about tomorrow's state affairs calendar. Bills are coming over from the House rapidly. We added a few that we'll print on tomorrow's calendar this morning, but just to make an additional announcement, tomorrow's state affairs calendar will consist of House Bill 1266, 1057, Senate Bill 309, followed by House Bills 1153, 1313, 1315, and 1319, tomorrow at or after 2 o'clock.
Very good. Senator Pelton R.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tuesday morning, tomorrow morning, Pastor Dan Fowle will be down in 109 to give us our weekly Bible study. We're getting close to the end. There's this one and one more, and then the session will be over. So come down and dig into your Bible, and learn some scripture, and feed your belly while you're there. Thank you.
Very good. Senator Liston.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I'd like to ask for a moment of personal privilege.
Granted.
Members, Sunday night in Colorado Springs, early Sunday morning, actually at 3 in the morning, the city of Colorado Springs and its citizens and the people of El Paso County were made much safer. There was a major drug ring of over 100 illegals were detained. These were gang members of TDA MS-13 that had been operating an illegal club in Colorado Springs that had been under surveillance for months in Colorado Springs. And early at 3 in the morning, members of the DEA, the El Paso County Sheriff's Office, the FBI, the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, and the Colorado Springs Police Department raided this illegal facility where members of TDA and MS-13 were arrested. The good news is not only were they arrested and detained, is that no one was hurt. It was done very professionally. No shots were fired, considering that there were armed individuals in the facility. This was in Colorado Springs. In fact, it was in Senator Exum's district. I know the district very well. I used to live near there. It was at the corner of Airport Road and Academy Boulevard. So I want to commend the professionalism of the DEA and the other law enforcement officers that made Colorado Springs and the citizens of El Paso County and probably the citizens of Colorado much safer thanks to the good work of these law enforcement professionals. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Senator Liston. Just to be clear, that was the good senator from Colorado Springs you were mentioning?
Yes, the senator from Colorado Springs.
There we go. Very good. Senator Gonzalez.
The Constitution protects us all.
Moment of personal privilege.
Thank you for that, Mr. President.
You're welcome.
The Constitution protects us all. Due process still exists in this country, last time I checked. Everyone arrested or detained ought to receive full due process. Also, the members of the U.S. Armed Forces who were also arrested and detained in that operation. The last time DEA engaged in an operation in Adams County, 0 arrests resulted in drug charges at the state level. DA Mason continues to wait. We'll see what happens here in Colorado Springs. With that being said, I hope that we can all agree that everyone should enjoy due process and full and fair consideration of the law here in the state of Colorado. Thank you, Mr. President.
You got it. Senator Liston, moment of personal privilege.
Yes, thank you once again. And members, just to be clear, I am very, very confident we have an exceptional district attorney in El Paso County who knows what he's doing. I am very confident that all of these people who were arrested and detained will get their due process in court. And with that, Mr. President, I'd also like to read what the mayor of Colorado Springs, our good mayor, Yemi Moholady, and let me quote, "Let me be clear, criminal activity of any kind from anyone will not be allowed in Colorado Springs. This investigation and the execution of these warrants are the result of clear evidence of serious criminal conduct. Our residents deserve to live in a city where the rule of law is upheld and where illegal behavior is met with firm and decisive action. We will continue working together to ensure the safety and well-being of our entire community. Law enforcement officials have said that TDA gang members have been involved in a myriad of criminal activities in Colorado, including drug trafficking, kidnapping, money laundering, extortion, human trafficking, particularly of immigrant women and girls. Thank you, Mr. President.
Very good. Senator Wiseman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request a moment of personal privilege.
Granted.
Thank you. You know, members, I had resolved over the weekend I was going to share this. It does seem newly appropriate in light of some of the things we've just heard here. Folks may know of a play called A Man for All Seasons. It features Thomas More, so sort of in the way of historical fiction, It also features his son-in-law by the name of William Roper. The famous passage that I want to remind us of from the play is this: Roper, so now you give the devil the benefit of the law. More, yes, what would you do? Cut a great road through the law to get after the devil? Roper, yes, I'd cut down every law in England to do that. More, oh, and when the last law was down and the devil turned round on you, where would you hide, Roper, all the laws being flat? This country is planted thick with laws from coast to coast, man's laws, not God's, and if you cut them down and you're just the man to do it, do you really think you could stand upright in the winds that would blow then? Yes, I'd give the devil the benefit of the law for my own safety's sake. Careful what you wish for, members.
Further announcements. Senator Winter.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Transportation Energy will be meeting 15 minutes upon adjournment. We have an appointment for a Front Range Passenger Rail District Board of Directors, and then we will be hearing 1267, 1059, and 1122. And we don't have anything scheduled for Wednesday, but I expect we will. And Transportation Energy will be in a different room on Wednesday. We will be in 354.
Very good. I have a quick announcement. For those of us who benefit in the basement with Munch's shoe shine business, she's here, as you know, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. She asked me to let you all know that next Tuesday she'll be done by 1:30 p.m. on May 6th. She really appreciates your business. And then also, tomorrow morning, Capitol Commission will be in the basement at 7 a.m. Feed your bellies and feed your souls. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Posters with the rosters for the General Assembly are available on the press podium of the back of the chamber. Please feel free to take one. Members, we are going to recess to read bills across the desk later today, so no need to return. With that, I move we recess until 2:30 p.m. today.
You heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the Senate will recess until 2:30 p.m. today.